Hello everybody, my name is Carrow. I am an urban fantasy author and currently a sci-fi writer, and I want to talk to you about Dirty Deeds. Dirty Deeds is a graphic novel that I wrote and is illustrated by Evan Scale. It is currently out for pre-order, and this is actually the very last week that it's going to be out for pre-order, and I'm trying to do my best to kind of boost up numbers and awareness, and I thought one of the best ways to tell you more about the story is to tell you about the characters. So today we are going to talk about two characters called Arad and Sulia. So Arad and Sulia are from a military race. Kind of think of it like space Spartans and the Borg and a whole bunch of other kind of fun things like that. Maybe space Vikings. Everybody likes space Vikings, right? Their main purpose as a race is to basically go to war. They have that whole thing monetized. They've got it down to an art, all the way up to the fact that they go to like a war institute where they learn how to be better warriors and become more proficient in what it is that they do. Now, I said that we have Arad and Sulia because obviously they are related somehow, and some of you have speculated that they are brother and sister, but they are actually cousins. On the website, it talks about how Arad is a disgraced war general for reasons that are kind of vague, but not vague because it's on the website, but basically he got framed for something that happened in regards to his family, and now he's on the run with his cousin. He is very proficient when it comes to war strategy games, and he is also a poet. Why is he a poet? Well, because when it was time to pick the cultural elective, the girl he liked happened to pick the poetry elective, and he decided to do it too. Some things are just universal. But he's probably one of my favorite characters to write, mostly because he's one of my favorite characters to show to my husband. He is your brooding, dark swordsman who doesn't have a lot to say but has a lot on his mind. And I really like his dynamic and the way that he works with the group. So as an example, the leader of Dirty Deeds is actually Renlin, but when it comes to the ground combat, the person that's in charge is going to be Arad because he has all of that skills and backgrounds and techniques at his disposal. So I really enjoy having him kind of show up with the group and watching how he adds his own presence to things. And I hope you like it too. Now on the flip side, we have Sulia, and Sulia is the combat medic. She is very augmented to the point where she's almost a Terminator, and some of you may be asking why she's like that, and the truth of the matter is that for her to be able to physically be able to do her job, she altered her body to the extent where she could physically do the work. And if you know anything about people who heal in combat, such as like PvP, who's the first person to die, the healer is the first person to die, which is why it was very important that she does those augments in her training, and she is going to be the last person standing no matter what. And she's also probably going to be the first one to fire at you because guess what? Sometimes keeping your team alive means that you shoot first. So she shoots first. Within Levaxian culture, all Levaxians, well not all, there's a spectrum of them, but most of the ones who are enlisted within the military all have what's referred to as a companion. And it's an AI that is basically their companion. It's the thing that helps augment their bodies and keep them at optimal performance. We don't know who Arad's companion's name is right now, that's kind of a mystery, but Sulia's companion is called Nurse, and even though he's called Nurse, he's kind of grumpy. A lot of people think that Nurse is actually the medical knowledge that is what Sulia uses, but Sulia is actually the medical expert. Nurse is actually the combat expert, because the whole reason that Sulia requested Nurse in particular before the name change happened for Nurse is because, again, going back to the combat, you have to stay alive in the field, so she picked a combat AI to be her companion, and they have a great relationship, they really do. One of the things I do want to add about Arad that I think some of you might like is that he is definitely my berserker character. When it's time for him to go nuts, he definitely goes nuts, and it's one of my favorite things to do. But I always try to be careful with it in the long term of storytelling for this particular tale that I'm weaving, because I don't want it to be like the default mode. Like I don't want him to go Super Saiyan every chapter, you know? So I want those moments to count. So even though he is the berserker, he doesn't berserk like on a dime. So that's my lore drop. I hope you guys thought that that was interesting. If so, there's a link to my pre-order down below. It would be really appreciative if you guys would go check it out. If you thought the video was interesting, you want to share it with other people who like weird space lore stuff, please feel free to. And like the video, share all that stuff, because again, I'm trying to raise awareness, and I've only got until Friday at 11:59 CST. Anyway, I have until Friday to sell as many copies as I can right now. So there will be 4 more videos that are going to come out that talk about the characters and a little bit of the lore of my universe, and I would really appreciate hearing what your thoughts on that are. So that's going to be it, because I don't know how to end this video anymore, so we're just ending it. Have a nice day. Bye.